Time. All right. Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Connect and Collaborate White Sands Self-Care Group, where we provide resources, education, and connection to a multitude of professionals that are here to support you on your self-care journey. And I am so excited to have my guest here today, Joanne Holbrook. She is the mother of two and a spouse of the United States Army officer. She has lived and raised her family in South Africa, England, Germany, Australia, and across the United States. As a South African, combined with her world travels, come with a military lifestyle, including her 25 years of teaching and performing art schools, has allowed Joanne to observe culture and parenting from multiple international perspectives and with a broader worldview. She is the author of the 3-time award-winning book, Your Passport to Parenting, which has been translated into multiple languages, a professional keynote speaker, parenting coach, and an entrepreneur who shares parenting stories to help build positive and value-based families worldwide. And she is looking forward to sharing parenting positivity with you all today. And before we start, Joanne, first of all, I want to, not only thank your husband for his service, but, you and your family as well. Being as a member that's been on both sides of that coin, we're always quick to thank our veterans and stuff, but I don't think anyone really realizes what support and what that takes for families to be able to support and move with them, and especially build, a career or have some kind of career and keep a home together. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
So yeah, and you, like me, when you travel, you collect all those worldwide perspectives and stuff, which I love because the cultures and stuff are definitely different with parenting. And I know you've done some teaching, but I'm curious as to what made you go into the parenting or decide to create that website that you have in the book to help guide people with the parenting.
Well, I always call myself an accidental author. I had no want or desire to do what I'm doing now my whole life. I've always been a performing arts teacher. I was a professional dancer for many years. And that was sort of where I was seeing myself. But, marrying a military member and having to move every 24 months, it was really hard to always reestablish yourself in a new country with new laws. And, you're talking work permits and driver's licenses and insurances. And it's just, the list is endless. So by the time you get round to doing yourself, like, oh, I want to work or I want to do this, you're halfway into the tour. So, I would, at the same time, I had little children and you're always trying to get into the schools. And I was always that mom. I felt like the mom. There was always like 10 steps behind the other moms. You'd be in England and they'd be like talking about something and you have no idea what the moms are talking about. And then, you go to Germany and you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And in Australia, you have no idea what they're talking about. And for me, as a foreign spouse in America, I had no idea what people were talking about half the time. So I started really leaning on people and asking questions, not just assuming, not just smiling. And what I started finding was that all these parents that I was meeting had amazing advice. And I started leaning on women, men, cultures, and slowly I got more comfortable in each situation. And after a while, I realized, if everybody had this information and different ways of doing something and different understanding, different perspectives, they would have more fun being a parent, because there was a point that I was like, this is so fun. I've used this tool from this and this tool from that, started sharing with my friends who were having kids at the same time. And they were all like, you have to write this stuff down. They were like, I do not want this stuff to go. And I went on a mission to just interview and find as many people as I could to share all these good things. And eventually I started writing them down. I met a coach who also sent you to a publisher, and he said, yeah, let's do it. So I wrote the book, and it just boomed from there. It launched March of 2020, which I saw it as a curse at the time, but now I think it was probably when parents needed it, with COVID happening. And I started doing online courses because people were reaching out and saying, can we work with you more? Can we do more? And I'm like, I wasn't meaning to do any of this. So slowly, I just built my capacity to do more and more and more, to the point that it's now what I do, share all these really good, positive things for,
and that was going to be one of my other questions, because I know from my experience in the military and traveling around, there are a lot of single parents that struggle, with the balance and with the kids and raising kids and serving the military at the same time. But I was wondering if it was that or the COVID, because I know when COVID locked a lot of people down, it brought a whole new dynamic. It changed the family dynamic, and a lot of people didn't know what to do or how to handle things. They're trying to deal with this, but then now they're, you're all locked in the house together. So I was kind of curious which one kind of, sparked it, or a combination of it.
Well, I find that, people that reach out to me are usually parents that don't need a therapist or a counselor or a coach. They're just parents who want to go from good to great. They're just parents who may be just feeling like a little bit overwhelmed. So I did get a lot of single dads coming to me during that time, but mainly it was moms who were just trying to hold down a job, keep the house, get their kids to school, like do homeschooling. It was those parents that reached out to me the most. So it wasn't really, I tried to see who it was, but I couldn't come up with a pattern at all. But I think it was just people who wanted to feel less burdened and less stressed. And, we have so much in our faces that we have to do, and you have to do this and you have to do that. And they just needed that noise cleaned. And that's where I came in. I was just like, okay, let's get rid of all the noise. And then I share all these small techniques that people can implement straight away. They take no effort. And people like that. They don't want to go and learn something new when they've got their lives going on.
Right. It's always nice to have someone that can understand, listen, understand where they're coming from, meet them where they're at, and not just throw things at and say, hey, you should do it, this way. I know that's a big part of self-care that I always try to get people to say. It's like, look, when you start getting that overwhelmed, either walk away, take your few minutes, go walk in nature, do something. You have to escape and reset. But I think sometimes parents, when they have kids, they feel like they can't, even more that they can't do that because they have the kids to either watch or do, there's just new different things. I don't know if did you want to share any of those tips or techniques, or maybe share a tip with some of the people that may be watching?
I'll give you an example of how, like you say, parents can't walk away. They can't go and take a walk a lot of the time. They have to stay. They have to be there. They've got, stuff to do. And I had one mom, she had just finished one of my favorite courses that I do. It's called Ignite. And just igniting your parenting spirit, that happiness, joy that parents feel is often short-lived, and this course shows you how to make that feeling last longer. And she was in overwhelm. She was doing the dishes one night. She was trying to get the kids off to bed. She was cleaning up after dinner. She knew she had laundry to do next. She knew she had to take the dog out, and she had all this stuff to do, and she was starting to feel that crazy overwhelmed feeling. And her son came up to her while she had just put the dishes in. And let me go backstory. She had just done the day with me in the course where we had spoken about just acknowledge your family's chaotic. Kids are chaotic. Your life can be chaotic, but there's lessons in the chaos. So I shared Neil deGrasse Tyson's teachings on all children are little scientists. And scientists are just adults who never grew up. So, and it's just everything they do and ask, see it as the first time they've ever seen it. They have no idea. And that perspective change, it immediately makes that overwhelm go away. All of a sudden, you can go, oh, wait a minute. This is fine. This is part of the process, instead of stop bothering me. So there she is doing the dishes, just with the dishes on, task done. She's ticked it off. She wants to move on. And her son comes up to her and he goes, Mom, can I open the dishwasher? And she said immediately, any other day, she would have gone, no, I'm busy, and pushed him aside. But because that day we had just discussed all children are little scientists, and go with it. Just see where it goes. She said, yes, you can open the dishwasher. And he opened it, and she said his face lit up. He was about 10. because he opened it up and he thought all the water would come out over them, like splash onto them. He thought that the dishwasher filled up to the top and then came and opened. And she said that they took like 20 minutes and opened and closed the dishwasher. He wanted to see how it worked. He didn't understand where the water came in, where the water went out. And she said it was the most beautiful bonding time that she had with her kid that would have missed. She would have completely gone by and never thought about that moment again. But because she just, took the time to realize, oh, wait a minute, they don't know. And I'm the only one who's going to teach him this, that they came in and had this beautiful time. And she emailed me the next day. She was like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. So, small things like that, like I say, things like that I share that just give you that time just to take a little bit of perspective change. Sometimes you can't go away. Sometimes you just need the switch to be turned. So that was one of my I love that story that she shared that day.
I love that story too. That is really neat because it's how many times people where we just snap and say no, just don't, or not now, because you're so overloaded with everything that you want to do. But that was definitely a neat mental break that she got, and I'm glad that works.
Yeah, and she got a complete mental break, like you said. That's perfect. It was that, what, everything else can wait. That priority, that moment was, he might be a little engineer in the making, and he might want to figure out how these things work, so. And you can do that with anything, don't drop the egg. Okay, maybe drop the egg. Yes, you're going to have to clean it up, but the lesson in dropping the egg is also there, and it's that kind of thing that we can just take the time for ourselves as parents, because sometimes we focus too much on the kids, what the kid needs. But in that moment with the dishwasher, that mom needed that moment just as much as he did.
Yeah. And I think when we get older too, we kind of forget what it was like to be that curious kid, because you get in that adult mode, the responsible mode. I have to do this, I have to do that. And you totally start to forget what it was like to be that kid, to be curious. And, I love the change of perspective, because a lot of times people say things, it's not meant bad, but you're actually kind of limiting them and, kind of damaging possibly their curiosity or their learning and stuff, because they don't want to get yelled at, instead of asking questions and stuff. So it brings up a whole, different environment for them.
Completely. And you're right. The curiosity thing goes away eventually, and you want to keep them curious. Especially nowadays, kids they've got everything at their fingertips. They don't have to go and explore for the answer as much as kids previously did. So let them be curious when they are. Let them go down a rabbit hole. Let them go with them, go and experience all that again.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that just helps build their curiosity, their creativity. And, if you're going to be an entrepreneur business, I mean, there's a lot of great businesses and products that's even been designed from people that have all that creativity and curiosity. So it's a great launching pad. I love that. It's a really nice perspective. So what are you working on these days? Are you doing workshops? Are you still coaching, or?
I am doing some work for the military families right now, and we're going to be flying to the mainland and doing some work at some bases and some in Hawaii too. So I'm working on face-to-face courses, which I am so excited to finally do, because, everything's been online. So it's going to be so nice to have moms and dads in front of me. So yeah, I'm doing lots of keynote speaking, is really keeping me really busy. But yeah, I'm putting courses together. I'm going to be writing some more courses that have just been requested. And yeah, I'm just always got my hands in something.
You stay busy. I know that.
Yeah, I still do. I still work with parents who can't come. So, they can do online or whatnot with me too. And that is just one-to-ones. And it's basically all the best things in one place. So yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I love Hawaii. I was going to say, for anyone listening, she is coming to us from Hawaii now.
Yeah.
And your husband is still active duty right now?
Yes. Yes.
So you're not done moving yet? Or
no, I think this will be our last duty station. So I think he's yeah,
Yeah.
well, this will be the last one.
Plans
Hopefully.
to stay there, or are you planning on or moving one more time?
We're going to stay here until the kids graduate school, because I think high school is important and I don't want to pull them around too much. And they're thriving here. So, and then after that, we'll probably move to Washington State
Oh,
for a while.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, that's something else to look forward to, another chapter.
In a while, though.
So what is the best way for people to get a hold of you? Because like you said, you can still work with people online. I know you're excited about working with them face to face, but anyone that's watching that's like in a different country or in somewhere else in the United States, what is the best way for them to get a hold of you?
They can go onto my website, which is joanneholbrook.com, or they can find me on social media, but everything's on the website. All my social links are on the website, all my course information, all my handouts, my printouts, my catalogs, my press releases, everything is on the website. So whatever they're interested in, they can just go there and they can message me direct from the website. So it'll text me straight away. So it's pretty easy, just joanneholbrook.com. And then on social media, I'm very active on social media. I put out a lot of free content as well. And I'm always sharing something to help parents just get through the week or the day or the month, whatever they need that time. Little perspective changes go a long way.
Even if it's just a little daily dose or saying, I'm sure that, kind of just helps them. Do you have a group for that then, or you just do it on your regular Facebook page?
I have a Facebook business page that is Your Passport to Parenting. So it's my book name, Your Passport to Parenting. The book you can get on my website, on any bookstore, or on Audible. So the books are there as well. I figured parents don't have time to read, so we did Audible as well.
No, it's not. Well, that's right, because they're always busy. So a lot of times they can just like plug it in or listen to the car, or when they do get their time, put their headsets on. Yeah. And that's amazing. I love that that's been done in multiple languages. So it speaks to a lot of people, and that I think is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
So, well, we will make sure we put, Joanne's information in there. And Joanne, I want to thank you for taking the time and sharing this with me. I think it's wonderful. I don't think a lot of people even know that those kind of resources are out there for them. So I'm glad you had the time to spend with us and share that with everybody. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I hope you're enjoying the Hawaii weather. I think you said something about a monsoon.
It's so rainy right now. I've never seen it this rainy. I don't know what to do with myself.
If it normally doesn't last that long, or at least when I was there, it didn't seem to last very long.
This has been 2 weeks of nonstop. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My poor dog doesn't know what to do with herself. She hasn't gone for a walk.
No, probably not. But well, thank you very much, Joanne. I appreciate it. And everyone that's watching, we will have Joanne's information in the comment section. And please be sure to join us tomorrow afternoon when we have Vanessa Raymond, another beautiful lady who is a self-image and self-confidence coach. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.